Patch 5 just dropped for Baldur's Gate 3, and it's an insane one because it's the biggest patch we've ever got. From a brand new playable epilogue to 2 new game modes, improved performance, fixed slowdown issues, easier navigation through inventory, recruitable Minthara on good playthroughs, more romance options with companions, and so much more. So let's dive into the news, and feel free to subscribe if you want to stay up to date for all BG3 news. Okay, so let's first start with maybe the most exciting new addition to the game. Many, including myself, were expecting ending slides, but we instead got a playable new epilogue. Now, since this is spoiler territory, I will only share what Larian shared with us, so don't worry about spoilers. Here's what they shared. This new playable chapter takes place 6 months after the events of Baldur's Gate 3 story, and it's accessible to all players by loading the game prior to the final fight. And your epilogue is defined by you. This is the culmination of every choice and consequence that you've made since the very start of your adventure. For the writers of Larian, this is the final goodbye. This has resulted in some of the most complex writing in the game thus far, as it takes advantage of Baldur's Gate 3 reactivity across the entire adventure. Oh, and there are also some new outfits for the epilogue, and even Orin's outfit will now drop as loot and can be worn by anyone, and the armor can even be dyed in a color of your choosing. Next up are the 2 new game modes, Honor Mode, which I predicted earlier, and Custom Mode. I went over Honor Mode before in earlier videos, but what we all expected was the Tactician difficulty with only 1 save file. But Larian went above and beyond and also included over 30 new tweaks to all boss fights. And they even added new legendary actions to catch players off guard, and also to increase the challenge. If you succeed in finishing this playthrough, you'll receive the golden D20 dice skin. So it's a difficulty even harder than Tactician, and if you wipe your party, it's game over. Or is it? Because here's where the new game mode comes into play, called Custom Mode. Custom Mode is a new mode where you can change all the rules to your liking. Want to make it even harder than the standard game by, for example, increase shop prices? Or do you think Explorer Mode was too hard and you want a full heal on a short rest? Literally everything is possible here, and you can set the rules how you like them. Some people do like passive dice rolls, some people don't. In this mode you are allowed to disable them, as well as disabling death saving throws or even the ability to hide failed perception checks, which means you'll never know there was a roll to begin with. And if you die, you can switch your honor mode to this game mode. So you can still continue the game if you want to, but you won't receive the golden D20 dice skin anymore. So for honor mode, it still means you have to start over again if you want that dice skin. But also, you know a player legit beat the game without dying if they have this golden dice skin equipped. Okay, now let's talk about one of Baldur's Gate 3's biggest critiques besides the ending, which they also fix now. But its performance issues, both on PC and PS5 and especially in Act 3. While optimizing the game for Xbox, they learned new tricks that are applied all across the board for the game, as well as dynamic resolution for the PS5. So it doesn't really matter what technical shit I say here, because you all just want better performance and now it's finally here. But especially for players with a lower NPC, they worked on that and also should see increased performance. So all in all, very good news, and let's hope the slowdown issues will stay fixed as well. And by the way, do let me know in the comments down below if you do notice a big performance increase after trying patch 5. Next up is that patch 5 also introduced a huge quality of life update in the form of improved inventory access. Now, while in camp, you will be able to manage the inventory of companions who are not in your active party without having to recruit them first, all from one single UI. I know this was a very popular request by the community, and now it looks like this. No point in stretching this part out, this is what we wanted, and damn does it look clean. But this was not the only thing many people asked for, but also for Minthara to be recruitable on a good playthrough. In short, she was only recruitable if you help the goblins defeat the tieflings in the Druid's Cove, or if you skip the encounter entirely. But now she should be recruitable even if you help the tieflings and the druids. Okay, that sounds amazing, but you might ask how. Okay, so what you have to do now is knock her out instead, so that she still lives. If you do this, then you should be able to encounter her in Act 2 in the Moonrise Towers. If you did this before and it didn't work, that's correct, because it didn't work before. But now in the patch notes they specifically said this. Minthara will still appear at Moonrise Towers if she was knocked out in Act 1. So let's say you do all this, you knock her out in Act 1 and you see her in Act 2. And then, to make it as spoiler free as possible, you have to follow her and make sure she doesn't die. That's the most I can say without spoiling as much as possible. Next up, there's a brand new fight in the game in Razumith's Tower, if you betray a certain holy person there. Again, I can't say much about this because we'll get into spoiler territory, but do know to see this new fight, all you have to do is betray a certain holy person in Razumith's Tower. Now, there are also some other smaller changes that are very noteworthy, but won't take as much time to share them, so let's go over them quickly. They are working on improving kisses for all romanceable companions, with even some new animations. Some have been released early, including Larian, and some will come later. I noticed myself there are also some new hug animations included in the patch, so go all out. Then, for those who become half a Livit, your transformation will now also visually affect your eyes. Spooky. Korean language support is now in the game with Korean subtitles. So hooray for our Korean friends. Our romance Minthara can now refer to her bond with you using a drow word for deep unbreakable love. How cute. The patch note didn't mention her broken dialogue, at least not as far as I can see, so you have to experience it yourself to see if it has improved or not. Withers will sneakily resurrect any dead companions that fell before the final fight, so that they can join the ending cinematics. What a helpful skeleton. Jaheira will now have her own scene with Dantalon if she approaches him alone. Now, for the Astarion fans, cinematic tweaks were made to a spicy scene with him in Act 3. But maybe even more importantly, Boo will no longer take damage when thrown. And for our min-maxes out there, any wild shapes that do not have weapons will now benefit from having the Tavern Brawler feat. Now, what's really special about this update is that it's basically also a free DLC. Many game companies do release an epilogue DLC for money, but not only did Larian make it free, they basically released it as a standard patch, like here you go. This is a 30 GB update, like holy shit, this patch is huge, insane, amazing, but also it's so great to see that Larian still improves this game this much even though it's already out and make their profits and all that. Just let it sink in for a while. A brand new playable epilogue. 2 new game modes, increased performance, thousands of fixes, quality of life improvements. This game released in early August. We're only 4 months away and they released 5 big patches and 10 hotfixes. Like, the support on this game is amazing and it's all for free. So I think Larian deserves a huge thank you from all the players. And also for me, thank you Larian. What you guys did for this game is amazing and you guys truly deserve Game of the Year. Now, for the last time, let's go back to the patch notes, because again, the patch notes didn't fit the Steam cap limit, so they had to release it separately on their website again. It's that big. So it's too much to cover it all in this video, so what I'll do instead is leave a link to the full patch notes in the description and pinned comment so you can read all the changes there. But do mind, there might be some spoilers in the patch notes if you didn't finish the game. And now my final question to you, what new feature is your favorite addition from this patch? Do let me know in the comments down below because I do read them all. And if you wanna help out my channel, I really appreciate each and every subscription, so thank you if you're subbed. And last but not least, thank you so much for watching my video and making it to the end. And as always, I will see you next time.
Well, there's the visit to the House of the Moon, fending off Sharan assassins. That stray imp that joined us. Bing Bong, wasn't it? We've squeezed in a lot. And I'm glad I got to share it all with you.